G'day everybody. It's the middle of July, or late July, middle of winter still. I've decided to come down here to the Broken River to try and drown a worm and see if I can catch a yellow belly. I don't like my chances, it's the wrong time of the year, but anyway, it beats sitting at home. I'm going to be bait fishing with worms, as I said, and I'm going to use a Paternoster rig. Today I'm going to show you how to tie a Paternoster rig. Right, I've got my line threaded up. I'm going to stick my rod between my legs. First I'm going to tie the sinker onto the bottom of the line, or the end of the line. It doesn't matter what sort of knot you use here. I'm just going to use an old-fashioned blood knot. You could use a granny knot, a double granny knot, a half-hitch lard head knot. As long as that's not going to come undone, that's alright, and that's not going to come undone. I'll use my God-supplied pliers. Thanks Lord for the pliers. And I'll cut the line off. So now I have my sinker at the end of the line. This is the tricky bit. The Paternoster rig, the Paternoster rig is designed to keep your bait suspended off the bottom, away from a bit of weed if there's weed, away from the snags, and to put your bait on display for the fish, like hanging in the middle of nowhere. So what I want to do, I've got my line here, but I'm not sure whether you can see that, but I've got my line on my sinker. I'm going to pull a loop into the line, above the sinker like that. I'm going to wrap that loop around the line, and then pull it back through. I now have a loop in the line, ending about 15 centimetres above the sinker. One loop's not enough. If I pull that sinker, that loop will pull out. So I put 2 or 3. I find 3 is normally really good. So I now have a loop in my line above my sinker. So you can see my sinker's down here, my loop is up here. Now we need to attach the hook to the loop. This is the best bit. I've just got it hanging on my tripod. There's no knot required. If you look at that, don't know whether you can see it or not, this is quite a big hook. I'm not going to use this hook today to fish for yellow belly. I'm just using it in the hope that the camera will pick it up. You get the end of your loop, you push it through the loop, through the eye of your hook, sorry, then you loop it over the top of the hook, then you pull it tight. Done! There's your Paternoster rig ready to go. I've got my sinker at the end and my hook just hanging in front of it like that. So when I put a bit of bait on there, what can I put on here so you can see it? Let's pretend this bit of grass is the bait. Thread it on. The sinker's down the bottom. The bait's up above it, just dangling in the current and away from the snags. This is particularly good if you're using yabbies, because yabbies like to burrow into the mud or hide under a log or dig a little hole and hide from the fish. By doing this, it leaves them up there on display. These rigs are great in areas like this, where there's a bit of current but not too much. That bit of current will just push that up and just keep it swaying in eyesight of the fish. In a really fast current, it might not be the best, because it might make your bait swim around in circles. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off this big hook and replace it with a smaller hook suitable for the species I'm targeting today, which, as I said, is yellow belly or golden perch or carp or cod or a redfin or a freshwater great white shark. I don't know what I'm going to catch. Okay, here's my smaller hook. One of the great things about the Paternoster rig is that you can take the hook off and change sizes. I'm putting on a hook here now. It looks like it's about size 2 maybe. Look at that, ready to roll. I'm going to put a bunch of worms on that now, and I'm going to throw that in ready to go. And there's my rig. Sinker on, and the hook on, a couple of worms on there. If I was a fish, I'd take the worms, ready to go. Before I put it in, have a look at this. I don't even know who makes these. Fishing sticks. Bought them from BCF, $5 each. Telescopic little fishing rod holder. Places like this, at Casey's Weir, where people fish all the time, it can be pretty hard to find a fork-shaped stick. And if you do, it can be hard to dig it into the ground, particularly in the warmer months when the ground's dry in summer. This little fork-shaped stick's got a nice point on the bottom. It's telescopic. Now I've got a nice big long stick. I'm going to go and put the stick in the ground, cast the line out, then sit back and wait. Here we go, ready to roll. The old Paternoster seems to have done the trick. That's one more carp than I thought I was going to catch. It's only a carp, but at least it's a fish on the Paternoster rig, and I'm relaxed and I'm having a ball. Now I'm going to kill it. Well folks, it has to be said that I'm having an absolute ball today. I've only caught one carp. The fishing's slow, but I'm sitting in my chair and it's just fantastic to be out in the great outdoors again. Talk about having a ball, kind of reminds me of the two cannibals. There's these two cannibals, they're laying in this, sitting in this paddock eating this big bull. The bull's laying on its back, it's got its legs pointed up to the sky, and the first cannibal's, nom, 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 nom. He sticks his head up and he says, "How you going over there, brother?" And the other cannibal sticks his head up and he says, "I'm having a ball, mate." The first one says, "Oh, we'll save the other one for me, won't ya?" Oh dear, I love this. Bait fishing makes me happy. I don't know why, I just love sitting on the bank and drowning worms. I can catch cod with lures, I can catch trout with a fly rod, I can catch trout with a spinner. But it's just so relaxing. If there's one thing that really gets under my skin, that's when people look down on bait fishermen and call them baitos, or whatever they call them, some other stupid names. They think they're eating a bit because they can cast a big lure and catch a big cod. That's great, good on them. That's what they like to do. But why judge other people? Bait fishing is a fundamental part of fishing. It's how you learn. It's how most of us started fishing. I just love it. It reminds me of my childhood. I used to do this when I was a teenager, to sit on the bank of the river and fish, and I'll probably still do it when I'm 90 if I'm still alive. I don't understand why people feel the need to look down on other people because they pursue a different form of the same hobby that we all enjoy. I just don't get it. I love casting cod for lures, don't get me wrong. Nah, casting cod for lures. How many lures do I catch, you ask? I love casting lures for cod, and I love flicking spinners for trout or soft plastics, and I really enjoy fly fishing. But I just love sitting in the sun using bait. You can call me a dumb fishing, I think they call it. You can call me a dumb fisherman. You could call me a baito. I still catch and release a lot of the fish that I catch. It's just a form of fishing that I really enjoy, and I just can't quite work out why people look down on it. Then again, I can't work out why a lot of people act the way they do. Maybe they're all just different than me. Maybe I'm just different to everybody else. Probably that one. Certainly am a little bit different, no one can deny that. Hopefully I can catch at least one yellow belly today, but if I don't care. Simple as that.